How different is it to come off of a home victory and go and face a tough away trip to St Johnstone where both teams will be up for it?
Yeah, listen, that'll be reflected in the training week that we've had, and we've had a good training week. After we've had a recovery and all the players get back in again. That game's gone now. It's a good victory we had against Hearts, but it's the next one, and we've been preparing quite diligently. We know what St Johnstone are, we know their strengths, we know their weaknesses, we know our strengths and weaknesses, and we've been working hard in the training field just to make sure that we're ready. We're ready for a tough tie, but all the work that we've done, hopefully we can implement that, and it can be part of our game plan for Saturday.
And looking at the week so far, 3 games in, 1 victory, 1 defeat, 1 draw. Pleased with that? Hoping for more?
Well, if I'm honest, I think our performances have probably merited a little bit better, but I've got to be happy where I am, in terms of we're the newly promoted club. So in terms of momentum, you look at your last game was a win, so you try and build on that momentum. Games prior to that, as I said, I was looking for longer periods where we dominated the game. I think with 45 in the 45 and a 60 in the first 2 games, and I thought against Hearts for large spells we were dominant. We had to weather a wee bit of a storm when they brought on 3 substitutes, but it's all about gaining momentum, and getting into this game we've won our last one, so we'll look to carry that on.
Do you feel so far in these 3 games that you've played, you've been able to see enough of the Premier League to know what you're going to have to do to get to where you want to be this season?
I just want to make sure for every game we're competitive, and we'll prepare for every game the same way, regardless of what the opposition is. We always prepare to try and win the game. So we'll do our homework on the opposition, but it's also important, and I've just mentioned about our squad. I've got good players now in the squad, and I've got good options, in every position. So it's preparing the team properly, make sure we're ready for going into battle, and when we do that, it's very much on the day. And I've got huge confidence in my players, from the 3 performances in the Premier Leagues I've seen, that we will be competitive this season, and hopefully on more occasions than not we'll come out on top.
Tony, the defence is looking really tight. How important is it to have a good solid foundation like that?
Yeah, very much. And again, it's another one that I brought in was Ricky Lamy, because I thought he would add to that. So I think it's important, between your goalkeeper and your back 4 that you've got, or back 3, whatever the case may be, that you've got enough, experience in there to deal with anything that you need to deal with. And as I said earlier on there, I'm happy with the squad we've assembled, and in particular the defensive situation I'm happy with at the moment.
And just on St Johnstone, Tony, they showed terrific battling spirit at Celtic. Is that the key to this one for Dundee? First and foremost, you have to match that battling spirit.
Yeah, I think so. But I think if you looked at our match against Hearts on Sunday, you'd have seen a team that, in terms of the stats I get back, the distance that the players run, the intensity they ran at, we worked really hard in that game to gain that result, as did St Johnstone. So I think you'll see 2 teams going in, that have got that real kind of work ethic about them and that mentality, and it's whoever on the day does that best will win the game.
And always nice to see a tasty Tayside derby. This one should be no different, and as usual you'll take a huge travelling support with you.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. And again, I'd like to really mention that about the Sunday's match there, how important the fans were to get us over the line against Hearts, and how important they will be this week. I know we'll bring a good support, and I know they'll be vocal, and the players feel that, when the fans are right behind them, it really helps. And I'd urge them to get behind us and just put in that wee extra bit. If you convince somebody else to come along with you, let's get the numbers right up, let's be really loud and make sure it is a good derby, and that hopefully we come out on top.
You've been around the first team squad now for a few years now. For a young player, obviously, You've had the opportunity to work with different management teams. How do you compare the current management team to the other ones that you've worked with?
They're all in themselves. They've got their own way of working and stuff. I feel as though the gaffer that's came in just now, he really he's helped me bring my game on more, and he's playing me a bit further forward in the pitch. So I feel like I can impact games more, whereas before I was a bit sort of held back, I'd say. But now I feel I can show what I can actually really do, both up and defend. So,
You mentioned about being a fan of the club as well as a player of the club, but you're not alone there. There's others in the team. Does that help, obviously, that you've the hearts on the sleeve, basically, because you are fans as well as players?
Yeah, you got Kami, Josh Mulligan, and also boys that have been in the academy as well from a young age, Lyle as well. So, I don't know, I feel as though like we're all as one, and it does help, because you feel like they go through a brick wall for you, and you do the same for them.
And looking at this short journey up the Tay at the weekend to St Johnstone, it's never an easy game up there, no matter when you go up there. But you know, it's going to be exciting. Dundee off the back of their win, St Johnstone off the back of their draw. You know, how much of excitement's going to be there this week?
Yeah, I think we're going to the game. Both teams on good form. Got 2 good results last weekend, so got to make sure we're at the top of our game to make sure we get something out of it.